Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas.
Today, we start the new season with an AFC West Division battle right out of the gate between the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders.
And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And no run back on this one, so the new season will begin at the 25-yard line.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. 3rd down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play. They'll try to run this one in. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Taking it in from a yard out.
And the Raiders are on the board here first in the season opener.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Now Willis.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. 20! And all the way home for a Broncos score.
For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the next-gen stats are going to tell the story. And, wow, what a story it is. Nearly a full 23 miles an hour. One of the fastest plays on record, folks.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted.
And the Broncosians are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
On 2nd and 11 now. Willis. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The shotgun snap to Willis.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
First down, Denver.
7-7, our score after one.
The score time, 7-7.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising, but they wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible. The lighter, shiftier defensive backs allow you that opportunity.
Willis on the sneak, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Broncos have taken the lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good,
and that makes the score 14-7.
Joey Sly set to kick off.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football, and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. This is intercepted.
And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
They'll try a little trickery here on the end around. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time, because let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Willis. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Right where this set him down started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. On 3rd down, it's Willis.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is going to lose yardage here. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that'll bring up 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
2nd and 2.
He sets to fire deep. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's
I am.
miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. 25 yards that time.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Willis on the option to the right.
He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice game.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find a way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Okay, ready? Get hurt!
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
Jermichael Hasty.
Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Broncos are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll set up a throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for 3rd down.
Playing pass all the way.
They'll set up to throw. Going for the deep ball. That his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Broncos are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared, had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
19.
To the air on first down, here's Willis.
That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And the tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
On 2nd and 7, Willis. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Third down, it's Willis. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
5 yards on the play.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left. He tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Willis. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. George Kittle with career touchdown
number 60. And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
The Raiders take over first down at their own 22-yard line.
The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late. It wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now a good job shifting right, finding his target.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go, set! Hey, check that, set!
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but They'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
Well, I wish the staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the fourth quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And then when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
At the 18-yard line.
From the gun, here's Willis.
This is caught. Touchdown, Broncos. George Kittle, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Broncos are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth quarter lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Joey Sly set to kick off.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted.
And the Broncos are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
The utter domination here just continues. This defense, I don't know what more we can say all around about their performance.
Well, it certainly feels in this game like maybe they're facing a Canadian defense. 12 guys on the field. It feels like there's an extra on every snap because they have really struggled to make headway through the air.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
On the jump. Hurry, 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 hurry.
Leading the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Willis looking to throw it.
And he's got his big tight end here.
And he will have the Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the Broncos 1st down.
Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season.